said, that's not my father. That's a paper. Oh, we're live. An attempt at one of those bad moments. Don't give me that look. I know you're all giving me that look. I'm sorry. Welcome, everyone, to Perception Check. You must have rolled pretty high to find this quiet little stream. Also, I just realized in this moment that my earphones have fallen out of the jack, and I was wondering why I was hearing everyone so loud. Okay, let me try and plug this back in very quickly. Don't worry, I'm still here. I am your dungeon master, very trained, very prepared, not flummoxed, not chaotic in any way. It has definitely got everything planned out to a T. Brownie of the Joy Charge Gamers, and joining us is the right tag crew as you, hopefully. No one love him. We've got JCG member Kotlon.
Oh, hi.
We're joined by the other people who are joining us for this campaign. We're joined by Raven.
Oh, hi.
We're joined by Heidi.
Call bullshit.
We're joined by Aeon.
Ready to roll.
And we're joined by Del.
Oi, everybody!
Hey, a lot of happy reactions there, except for one who's calling out the DM for some reason.
Have corgis.
Roll new character.
Ah, corgis.
Corgis? Have corgis?
Corgis?
What? Where's a corgi? I like corgis. The happy loaf.
Check the chat.
Is it the Dungeon and Memes thing?
No, it's on the live stream. I sent some biddles.
Oh, that would make sense. Fair enough. I don't have access to that. Cotlow has access to that if he mentions it.
Oh, really?
Oh, there you go.
That's fair. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into tonight's session of perception checks. So hopefully we'll see how things go from here. So, where do I get off with this one very, very quickly? Is there anything to bring up in my notes? No, I don't think so, except I hope you're all having a grand old time. That's all I ask.
We have a gay old time.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you for at least all agreeing with me. For those who have not agreed with me, I hope your day gets better. And if it doesn't get better, then buy a cookie.
Ooh, cookie.
I don't know what type of cookie, just buy a cookie.
Put it
I
down!
suggest Keebler.
No, I will not put the cookie down.
I suggest the Keebler elves go to their magical forest and grab their cookie factory.
Isn't that just
Raven, I know you're looking at me in disgust. I know what you're thinking. I will admit they make some really good ladyfingers, though.
I'll just stick with Greg's. I like the cookies.
I'm getting hungry now.
Well, if you're hungry, how about we quell the hunger with some adventure? That was the worst attempt to try to salvage this. Also, Kotlon has new cat.
Yay!
That's a cat
Kitty!
live on stream.
Oh,
Oh,
He knew the camera was on.
oh,
He doesn't like being picked up.
Oh.
Aw, he wants his daddy.
No, he just wants to know. This is my thing. This is now mine.
He doesn't like being picked up
Oh, well, he was all right with it then for a little bit.
because I was petting him, but he doesn't like being picked up.
That's fair.
No, you don't want to go into the bucket. Waste it.
The buckets.
Raven. Why?
Boom.
Oh, no, here we go. Here we go.
All right. Oh, cat doing the cat thing. Anyway, we'll get things started while Kotlol has a cat in front of him. I must distract and get back into the live stream. Anyway, we're going to get on to tonight's episode of Perception Check. So, everyone, are we ready to roll?
Ready?
Yes.
There's some dice somewhere.
Oh, look at that face, by the way. No, okay, no, it's not Raven. Raven, you can just roll. You can just roll in the thing. Roll in the chat.
What?
Also, Del gasped, by the way.
Because I see kitty face. I see kitty face.
Just noticed the cat.
This episode is just going to be dedicated to Kotlow's new cat. It's not going to be focused anywhere near the campaign, which, speaking of...
Yes, we should get back to, because this DM is currently going through some small bits to try to keep everyone in check.
Yes.
The DM is having a mental breakdown.
Oh! It's too much. Anyway, that's it. I'm going home. Anyway, last time. Don't worry, I haven't got. Baldric. Baldric, this is not a cunning plan. This is not as cunning as a fox that went to Kipita. Stop it!
Quit distracting him, Raven.
I'm putting on the creepy music. We're gonna get on with this.
Raven
Hello,
music.
everyone. Last time on perception check, I tried to do dramatic. So last week, sure, I saw that. Raven, why did Waluigi appear on your thing? Also, that's not real Waluigi. He didn't have a rose. Not real Waluigi. Not my Waluigi.
Anyway.
Yes. So, last time on perception check, the Hope Finders were making their journey towards the city of Velvet, along with Stonebreaker, the mayor of the town. And along the travels, you were interrupted on a nice peaceful sleep in the wild by some bullets. Not those bullets before anyone gets clever. That is the real name.
Bullet.
To bring that up each time. And you also had an encounter with two gnolls, known as Grip and Foz, and you encountered a magical establishment called the Merry Mole's Magical Merchantry, led by Asnok Merrymole. During a little visit there of trying to catch up, instead of taking a chance to explore the shop and get some wares, Magnus had a great idea to showcase the Vorpal Blade, which, with a recollection of a former Noir Harness Diamond, realized that was a bad idea, concerning it broke and released a curse which infected Magnus. To get this curse tried off him, Magnus let you guys go on ahead while he chose to stay with Asnok to try to fix that, while also trying to figure out the procedure to help get Stonebreaker out in the form of a special element that was found in a mine close to the city of Velvet. Now I'm just good. Now pop quiz. Does anyone remember the element that you were told to gather? Did anyone remember? Yeah. Yes. The boy at the back.
Boy!
Trying to be funny.
Incorrect answer.
Jurassium.
Jurassium. Very good. Very good. You get an imaginary cookie.
It's like I keep notes.
Oh, my note here
Actually, I had
says
that written
caster
down,
card
too.
2 stamps.
Sure. Alright, anyway, while my thing gets pulled up. Alright. Along the travel to Velvet, as you parted ways, you managed to avoid some potholes with some little bit of luck. You had a nice day, you had a nice few hours to travel, but then you had a encounter with a cart with no driver of some kind, which thanks to a little bit of magic, you managed to find it was somebody that Zelion knew, Oberon, one of the gods of Hopekey that he had met way before. He had mentioned he was on his way to Velvet to basically gather some information that the fact you guys were taking so long and wanted to see what was going on. At that point as well, as all this was going on, you also had an encounter with a very interesting figure. Or rather, Zelion and Ursula did at first, in the form of meeting Captain Arle Sooth, who was the local captain of some kind for the Diamond Axes, the local military of Velvet, who recognize Zelion as having some kind of a connection with. At that point, you all figured it was best to travel together, and you made your way towards the city of Velvet and arrived at its front gate. And that was where we left off. So, Hope Finders. At this point, you have arrived at the stone wall structure of the walls of Velvet. You see that the walls stand about... Let me get my info correct here before I make an idiot of myself. Again.
I was about to say.
All these lovable insults. I wonder if everyone wants to roll disadvantage for their first rolls tonight.
No,
please.
thank you. Did you say yes, please?
Yes. It'll be really interesting.
A nat 20 negated by a nat 1. Nothing more fun than that. No, don't worry. So, the walls are standing at about 15 feet tall. And they are very, very polished of some kind. You get the sense by this material that they appear to be like a polished garnet type of color, and they are basically a stone brick of like garnet things. On top of each of like the pillars holding the wall, you see a small sort of castle rooftop area, if that makes sense. You know, like the tops of those towers that people like to stand on top of. But it's a bit hard to see what else is up there besides that. But as you approach the gate, you see standing, as you guys approach the front area there, passing by some of the small rest areas at the gate areas to basically put these are rest type areas. In fact, Ale will mention this to you quickly before I forget, and goes, these little areas outside the gates are normally where people like to set up themselves when they travel down here sometimes. Normally we have like tents and places where people can cook food and things, but this is normally where I guess you could say it's like those people who like to camp out and be ready to be first in line for something. But even then, not many people normally get in because of, well, security. And at that point, you actually watch and you see that next thing you know, there's someone who's been turned away, and the cart is going the other direction from you guys. As they are going by your cart at this point, you get a small bit of the conversation heard when they goes, do you think they would be around? Yeah, I know, we're not going to get anywhere at this point. Yeah. And that's the only bit you hear as they go by. Ale turns to you all and just goes, don't worry, you should be able to be let in because I'm with you all. But just be aware they may do a security checkup on you guys because it's the law of the city. So I hope you guys will just be aware of that.
What kind of security check are we to expect here?
It depends on what you're known for doing. If you are a mercenary of work, they will want to check your weaponry to make sure that they're not cursed in any way. If they are cursed in any shape or form, or you are hiding a weaponry by any magical means, or you're trying to slip it in undetected, there is a possibility that they will happily either confiscate it depending on the size of the weapon, or there may be a possibility that your visit into the city will be going straight to the, well...
I
Straight
think we
to
get
prison.
Not prison per se, but we have an establishment in the city. It's known as the Iron Tooth. It earned that nickname because whenever people have been sent there, it's like it's got its tight grip on you, and it won't let you go until it gets enough satisfaction for what it bit you into.
Yee.
Huh.
It's just an expression. It's just an expression. Don't worry. It's just their way of saying if there's something you're withholding, they'll want to know what it is before they let you do your thing.
All right.
Raven, Raven, it's not time for the meeting.
So at least you're not going to jail, but you do not pass go. Well,
Yes, and you don't collect 200 gold either when you go by.
that's
Um,
right.
What?
What are you guys talking about?
Oh, it's something that I'm actually surprised you are aware of that. How are you aware of that military term for jail?
No, I'm Noir is a very different setup from any military city. We were more known for trades, so we didn't have
Oh,
as tight security.
I see. I see. You're wondering how things ended up like this.
A little, yeah.
I take it Stonebreaker has informed you of this, has he?
He ran through a few mentions of something going on, but he didn't get into too much detail.
Well, I guess that's well. Let's get you guys through to the city, and we'll get you guys into a safe area. Then we can talk about it. God damn it, Raven! I'm noticing all the shit on his screen.
Oh,
Oh,
All
he's doing
right.
that shit again.
Oh, not again.
all right. Where are our characters coming from?
North.
All right. Yes. Yes. So you
I
guys
thought we
are
were
coming.
like over here or something.
Yes, you're up. You guys are up here at this point. I won't bring out the cart for this one, but
We
Beep
you
boop boop
guys
bop.
are up there. Bobbity boopy.
Bop da boopity.
Boopy?
beep bop
Bibbidi
boop bop.
bibbidi bobbity boo.
Give it a bop and bop.
Oh no! Oh, god damn it. I forgot about that. Excuse me. Forgot about that fucking chat.
Oh,
Excuse me.
Alright, give me 1 second. I forgot to bring out my little token here for
One.
the the makeshift. Oh god damn it. Okay, fair enough. There, I'll just do it this way. Wait, can I group this? Give me 1 second. Sorry. There we go. I can do that. There we go. Okay, so as you
Oh,
guys are
there I am.
approaching on the cart, you are greeted by two heavily armored guards. You see that their armor is donned in a beautifully polished silver with streams of blue sort of fill-in areas. Like you can tell that the undershirt is like this small teal sort of light blue. And you also see that their helmets are donned with on the front of their helmet there is a small crest that is situated on the helmet. And as they're approaching, one of them goes, "Halt!" And you get this gruff voice from this rather tall-looking beast type fellow, and you see that this is let me find my notes before I get the wrong thing. Yeah, you see the one who's told you to halt is a surprisingly tall for themselves, a tabaxi who calls out to you guys, and the other one is an orc race fella, as he just stands there with his arms crossed. But as the tabaxi is speaking, you can see that his arms are slowly coming loose and they're moving to his sides as this is speaking.
So,
Oh.
at the Bixie.
Oh, I just got that! Tabaxi. Great joke. Funny. Anyway, so what did you say there, Raven? Sorry.
Halting!
Yeah, I'll take. Thank you. The tabaxi then walks up to you all and goes, state your purpose for visiting."
Hmm. Wait.
We
Meeting
were
people.
sent here by Titanus Ron.
Mm-hmm.
You were sent here from Hope Key. What reason?
We sent a message from Creo not too long ago requesting for backup, I believe.
Wait, is it? Wait. At that point, then the orc figure actually comes forward and goes, "Wait. So one of your companions was the one who sent the message a couple of weeks ago."
That's correct.
Yep.
Stonebreaker did mention that somebody messaged him about that and told us to give a heads up if you were coming by, but I'll admit I'm surprised to see that is the. At that point, Alasuf goes up and just goes, "Well, you should have mentioned something. You not trust their word." Captain! At ease, soldiers, at ease. I can confirm that these are all indeed with Stonebreaker's blessing. So, with permission, I will be keeping their eyes, hands, and mouths under my watch. Is that clear? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And they both salute and goes, "Good. Now, do your job and know that you have my watch." Of course. All of you, if you'd like to step out of the cart, please. Step out of your cart and just come to the side over here, please.
Huh? Oh,
All right,
Okay,
I
sure.
comply.
I hop off Anastasia. Oh,
Okay.
And Trip gets off. And how tall are these guys?
The orc figure is about the same size as you.
Oh, cool. Someone at my eye level.
Yeah, and the tabaxi is actually smaller than that. If you guys remember Topaz's size, it was a little taller than that. So you're looking about sort of 5'7", somewhere around there for a tabaxi.
So wait, the orc is 7'4"?
Sorry. I got my things wrong. Give me a second. The orc figure is helps if I look at the right page of my town stuff.
I
There
know
we
that
go.
problem.
Yeah. The orc is about 7 foot, and the tabaxi figure is 4'9".
So I'm 7'4", so I'm still taller
Yeah.
than him.
At this point, the orc figure looks and goes, "Oh, this is new."
Well, it's not to me. I just don't have to look more down than normal.
Interesting. No,
Ursula just lets out a little snicker of amusement.
tabaxi leans in. "What's funny, missus?"
Just the thought of a giant furbog looking down at a ginormous half-orc.
It's a normal orc.
You're not wrong. It is actually strange to see someone actually taller than him for a change.
Especially considering furbugs aren't native to Manu.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's the first time I've actually seen the base of his neck having a look up.
Seriously?
Yeah, he likes to keep it. What are we doing? This is no. As much as that conversation is nice, we have a job to do, you see? Please understand. Now,
I understand.
and I'm not gonna lie, they're gonna do the equivalent like an airport security fucking thing. They're gonna ask if any of you guys have anything to declare or anything to hide or anything like that. So I have to ask, does anybody do anything during their check or doing their anything like that?
All right.
Uh. Nothing out of the ordinary for me.
So,
Miner's standard supplies, so
okay, so you're just gonna say everything you have on your person.
yeah, I don't leave anything out.
I don't leave anything out of mine either.
Okay, Zelion's open. Okay.
Here's the thing. I'm doubting between different outcomes.
Oh.
It depends. Is Trip dumb enough? Is Trip smart enough? Is Trip unwilling to? Or is Trip willing to? But I'm more of the leaning between dumb enough or smart enough, actually.
Oh dear.
You want me to come back to you, Carl?
Yes.
Okay. Raven, what do you do?
Nothing special.
You declare everything you've got on you?
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. They get very interested by your dog, by the way, because they've never seen anything like that. Well, in fact, the Tabaxi comes up to it and just goes, this is a strange animal. I've never seen an animal so coated in armor before.
Careful. It bites. He doesn't really, but I'm just saying that. So they are amused by how kind it is to them.
Ruff!
Bark.
Thank you. What's an interesting creature? Nice doggy.
He seems to like you.
There's nothing wrong with that thing, is there?
There are several things wrong with it. For one thing, it's mechanical.
It's what?
Might
I
have a
think
few
anyway.
loose wires.
Huh. That's interesting. Ollie just looks at you and basically it's just like, don't worry, I'm sure it's perfectly fine. I don't think it would be with this lot otherwise, would they? No, I don't think so. Moving on. All right, Tapahay, what do you do?
Tape's just going to offer a deadpan, hiding nothing.
A deadpan, huh?
Yeah, the orc figure is going to touch you because the Tabaxi's like, I want nothing new with the big fucking cat.
Oh, but
The
that's your
orc-
cousin.
Yeah. You don't know that one. Yeah, the orc is sort of like, step aside, step aside. They're doing all that things to the. Okay, what about you? Okay, Carl,
Oh,
back to you.
oh no. Is it the green orc?
Oh, what color is it?
Is that an orc? Is it green?
No,
Yes.
it is. No, it is dark blue.
Okay. Good
Not
for
close
Tape.
enough. Okay.
Oh, shit, you're right. I didn't think about that. It's the all green. Uh-oh. Yeah, Tape doesn't like green, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think about that.
I wish I could download a voice clip from this one video that YouTube doesn't exist anymore, because one of the lines is, I knew it! Green! Which would be perfect, Topper Hay.
Okay, anyway, Trip, what are you doing?
Can I roll intelligence just for funsies to see what Trip's current mind state is?
Sure, go ahead. Roll, you know what? Let's make this more interesting. I would like you to roll a history check for me to see if you're aware on what's classified as safe or not safe to declare.
Okay, that's still the same bonus. 19.
19. Okay. All right. So, you are aware on what is classed as safe or not safe to declare by normal means? Involving like anything magical, I guess it comes down to how well you know the magical item exactly.
Ah, okay. Fun times.
Oh no.
Okay. Trip box up. Aren't magical gems? Those count, right?
Do you have a magical gem?
Well, yes. And I do have to declare that, right?
If you feel like it would be a problem if anything happens with it, then yes.
Trip thinks for a moment. And you can see her going deep in thought once again.
Why? Is there something you're not telling us, Furborg?
Well,
As this happens,
That's
by the way,
lawful.
you're watching. Yeah, as this is going on, the tabaxi is slowly raising her paw, and is placing it on a small sort of choker around her neck, and she places like 2 nails on it as she's listening to you.
Liam is just interrupting, like, oh, right, I've got thieves' tools and a crowbar. Are those allowed in?
Make a persuasion check to see if you can actually distract the situation.
Seeing as
19?
Moon brought it up, is that orc green and is he trying to frisk me down, pat me down?
We went over that. No, he's okay. So to go over the colors just briefly, because I didn't think of this, but I'm gonna.
Right.
You know what? I'm gonna have some random fun. Let's do this properly.
Roll for it.
Let's do this. Yeah, I'm gonna roll for it.
Oh,
So,
God.
so the orc,
Nat one.
yeah. So the orc to bring it up, by the way, is dark blue. That was decided a bit
Okay.
beforehand. So
Okay.
the tabaxi. Let's see. I'm gonna roll a normal 6-sided die.
Mhm.
If it's a 6, then Aeon can choose the color if he wants to have the fun. If it's a 1, it's going to be green for the heck of it. If it's any other, it's any of the colors I've also decided. So it's either luck or someone's picking, or it is. The tabaxi is white.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Roll the 3.
Oh,
Yeah, so the tabaxi there. You rolled a 19, did you say, Raven?
Yes.
Yeah, so he then looks and goes, why do you have thieves' tools and a crowbar exactly?
I'm an artificer. Sometimes people ask me to help them get back into their own houses. It's a legitimate business.
As an artificer.
Of course. We build stuff, we help the community. It's part of what we do.
So why not just go ask a locksmith to do it then, instead of a high-class magic guy?
Wow, assuming
was
every
no
village has a
locksmith.
locksmith. These people.
So
Grasping to their luxuries like a locksmith in town.
there are locksmiths in most towns. Is there not one where you're from?
Nope.
Give me a sec while I look up fucking Helix, because I need to look back over my fucking details.
Considering
It's
the
been a
place
while
got
since
attacked-
we've been to Helix.
I ran them out of business.
I'm gonna say, considering Helix got attacked, there's a good chance there isn't now.
Okay,
Yeah, but they don't know that.
they don't. Not that you know. Okay, you know what?
Oh.
Let's have some fun with this.
It's been a
Raven.
couple of weeks, so news would have traveled that it's been attacked.
Yeah, Raven.
Yes.
How about a rollsies?
Okay.
Oh.
I bet I'm
Roll
on
a
a roll.
D-
Roll Y.
Roll a d20. No bonuses. Highest result is going to do their thing.
Right.
Okay. I have my dice here. I've not even looked at the chat. I'm going to go through this there. Raven, what's your number? E. Oh, goody. This should be fun. 17.
Eh.
Destroyed.
he looks and just goes, I'm sure there would have been somebody who fell up the slack. As much as, and I appreciate you doing a good job, Artificer, but surely there would be things. Now then, Furborg, what are you hiding? And as this happens, the choker glows, and all of a sudden you watch as her eyes just step back in shock. And she looks at Utrip, Liam, and Zelion.
Mm,
Same time?
Yeah, I know what he did.
Yeah, he's looking back over just goes,
Oh.
Well, it did help us a lot of times, but also some. It did help us a lot, so. You can see Trip. You can see Trip mumbling and thinking. Well, and then noticed the actually. Are you okay?
What What? I. What? What? Did you understand who you're traveling with here? They were Stonebreaker's escorts. Why? Because I'm sensing some. Forgive me for speaking out loud, but there's some serious shit with the three of those. And points to the three of you. There's something up with those gems. I see one gem situated behind that half elf there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can see that Liam is. It points to. Oh, sorry, I said Liam by this. Points at you, Liam. And, says, and then he's got a gem of some kind on him, and I can sense the same thing. What is up with the three of you? Arle then sort of perks up a small bit and then looks at the three of you like, you want to explain that one? Because you kept that one hidden from me.
You
Oh,
can
you wanted to know the
actually
dangerous
thank
magical
Titanus
stuff.
Ron for them.
Of course, Trip is going to be lawful.
Is Trip gonna flat out tell?
I mean, that's the whole reason you had to roll, because he's lawful good, and she wants to obey the laws. That's why I
Yeah.
did the whole roll thing. So it's like, that's why I said, is he smart enough to know that she hasn't declared, or is he dumb enough to forget to declare it?
Yeah, you're familiar. Yeah, and I did say you'd be used to magical items and things, so technically you'd be used to what your gem does because you know what it does.
Yeah. And that was the whole rolling for. This is like, if
Yeah.
it had to do with, like, does it obey the laws? Lawful good. She
Yeah.
starts questioning, and then she starts thinking again, because she's like, not 100% sure if he's helping us, but could it be trouble for them, according to us, as she's crossing the wires, and now Cat has to be out of back, so here we go.
Oh, yes, Heidi?
I was just gonna say, as the Tabaxi is pointing at Azelion, Trip, and
Liam.
she's been rifling through her bag to find the note from Titanus Ron with the seal on it.
Okay. Do you
And
still
she
have it?
speak. Yes, I do. And I speak up. I say, you can thank Titanus Ron for those gems. They were gifts from him.
Excuse me? Ollie looks down at you like, excuse me?
While this doesn't say it directly, Titanus Ron has sent us on an important mission to try and bring peace to this world. And those crystals were presents from him that if they were in any ever kind of trouble, they could use them to protect themselves, to protect us.
I see. Can I see that?
I hand her the note with the official seal of Titanus on it.
Graven Cortons. I see. Well, it certainly seems legit with his seal. Guards? Yes, ma'am. We're going to need an escort. Ma'am? We need to take them to the Iron Tooth. We need to discuss this in private. Understood, ma'am. Understood. Oh, and guards. Yes. Not a word to anyone. I need to address this myself before we take further action. You understand? They just nod. The Tabaxi nods even more, like he knows something. And at that point, the Tabaxi just sort of looks back and just says, carry on. Open the gate! Open the gate! Calls through. And suddenly, these large, sort of nearly 12-foot wooden doors just open up ever so slightly. It is the equivalent of, like, if anyone remembers the Kingdom Hearts games, it's like the big giant door that goes to the throne room, but you could just literally just go through this small gap and you're in.
Nice.
So So at that point, they just stand to the side, let you in there, but they are watching you very closely. And Arle is literally just there, just going like, okay. And she hops up and just goes, all of you, follow me and stay close. Understand?
I understand. And she actually stands
Hmm.
right next to Arle.
As this is going on, by the way, she's looking at Zelion for quite a bit and then walks on.
Ooh, boy.
So, what do you all do?
You don't have an.
Well, all right.
Breaking character for just a second. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm just surprised at how well that played out.
How? What? The seal?
Yeah, for the most part.
Well, you don't know. You don't know what's going on yet.
No, I don't. But this is exciting, and I love it.
And Trip had
Anyways,
to start
back
it
to character.
because lawful good character, not the
Yeah.
smartest cookie on the shelf.
No, I just So anyway, Ali Suf leads you into Velvet. Do you all follow?
I'm
Yeah.
right next to her, so I'm
What
following.
choice do we have? We
Really
have to.
next to her.
Yeah, I desummon Anastasia and follow.
Okay. Who's back in the cart, by the way? Because you guys still have a cart.
Papa
Oh, you
A,
leave
Liam, Ursula.
I'm shit at animal handling. I'm not touching those animals.
I'm walking.
Fair enough. Well, if no one's going to offer it, then I'll just say that
You know
Ali
what?
is-
Fuck it. I'll control the cart then.
Okay. All right. You don't have to roll a check. It's basically just, are you leading the cart? In which case, the cart's coming into the city with you guys or staying outside, basically.
Okay.
All right. So, as you guys enter the very heavily sort of clouded like city, you see before you a hold on a sec. Is this the right music? Give me a second. Yeah, that's the one. You see a rather heavily suburban like motif to the city. There's a lot of people who are dressed not as casually, but like they are more prepared. Like as you're going through to the city, I'll leave with our beloved little character here. As they lead down the long path past some of the houses and things. Oh, God damn it. Okay, not quite as grouped as it was, so oh well.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It's
That's
literally
fine.
a stick figure.
Oh, it's fine. I was gonna get the figure, but I did it. So, as they are leaning downwards, Arle turns to you all and just goes, "Is this your first times in Velvet? I presume."
Yeah.
Yes.
I will. I will say Raven and Zelion. I'd like you both to roll a history check for me, please,
Okay. Ooh,
for the sake
yes.
of things.
History.
Yeah.
It was. Ooh.
What have we? What?
Oh,
What have we got?
are you kidding? Are you kidding?
Is that an? Oh, not one!
That one.
Ah, when it mattered most. Okay, Liam.
15.
You have had contracts involving Velvet, but as for stepping foot in the city, you are completely new to this. This is your first time within the walls of Velvet. For Zelion, you remember a heavily guarded city, but you were unfamiliar if it was Velvet or not. You're just more distracted by what happened.
Yeah. I think so. I'm not sure.
Well, I presume. Well, I suppose a little history never hurts at this point. You see, Velvet was actually the second ever city that was built in the land of Monu. You see, Hope Key was originally going to be the only major city and was going to house things more than just what you have around. However, when it was first made, there was some complications with bonds with people. There were some who would believe that the idea of, well, I presume you're all familiar with what started this entire mess. The whole thing that led to the Unity, correct?
Yeah.
I'm hoping anybody remembers the name.
Ah.
No. Okay, note.
Yeah.
Questionable race.
Oh, that's what it is. Ravaged land by a questionable race. It was
There you
300
go.
years ago.
That's the one, yes.
The right questionable race.
That's at the very beginning of my notes.
Yes, the first thing I mentioned to you all.
That's the
Yeah.
one thing I haven't written down yet. So
Yeah, I have not. Yeah, I have everything but that written down.
no, I
And
have
the
to
moral
write
of the
it
story
in my
is
notes now.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's the important war that started this shit. We had this problem in the Pokemon campaign. Why have you not learned?
I don't. I
and
couldn't
it-
have that note because I was never given that note.
Yeah, you have a reason.
You guys are taking notes?
You guys don't make this shit up as you go along.
I am.
Anyway, hang on. All right, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine. So anyway, yeah. So the questionable race, the whole war that led to the Unity being made, though it was agreed by some people, there were some who still thought it wouldn't be enough. Some still thought that the best way to deal with things was still with a blade and just be prepared in case anything ever happened again. When it was addressed to, well, when it was addressed to when things all started off, it was, well, it was a situation unlike any other. You see, I actually have to go into this detail now. I have to go back to the back myself.
Yay!
So, tell me, are any of you familiar with the name Maximilian Ron?
Isn't he the descendant of the current leader of Hoki, Titanusron?
Ancestor.
Ancestor. Descendants
sorry.
the other way. I'm glad I'm not the only one who made that
sorry.
mistake.
Fucking tired brain. I only.
It's okay.
All right.
Okay. So, Maximilian was the first leader of Hope Key. For the longest time, he thought it was fine. However, Stonebreaker's great-great-grandfather and a very good friend of Maximilian, he didn't really agree with it at the time and thought he always wanted to keep things ready to go. However, it didn't really work out at times. They kept arguing every so often, and in the end, he suggested he just build his own city, and said, fine, we're still acquainted, but only by leadership, only by power to protect. You have your way with words, I have my way with the blade. And that's where it stays at this point. And thus, he came down south. He created Velvet and chose to set up shop down here. Then, well, there's a day not many people like to go over, which was known as the Decider. Both Maximilian and, well, are any of you familiar with Stonebreaker's past? I don't want to divulge too much if that's the case.
No.
So he never told you anything?
Not much.
Mm-mm.
Don't know him too well.
We've only
Well-
traveled for a week.
Oh, well, that's weird. Oh, we're actually here. And she points to a large statue of a giant orc-like figure standing on top of a pedestal, not like similar to the one in Creo, but like on a small set of steps. It's about like 5 small steps, and on the top of the one there is a pillar, and on it is a orcish figure, and it is the same material as the wall. It's like a polished quartz there. You see that he has like a scar going right underneath the sort of forehead area, and it peaks in one direction. And there you see he's there with an axe in one hand, and he's basically there like gritted teeth, like sort of like that gritted smile, like, you know, like he's sort of, I guess way to describe it, it's like that person who's like, I've got that weakness, I see it there. You know, that sort of attitude. It's like, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
And she points to it and goes, This is Velvet's founder. Unfortunately, we do not know his name, unfortunately.
That's too unfortunately.
What do you mean by that?
No, he said, unfortunately, we don't know his name. Unfortunately.
Yeah, sorry. Unfortunately, I'm an idiot.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, she goes, the plaque was sadly removed some time ago, but they at least chose to say keep the statue here. Stonebreaker said he wanted to keep it in check for the memories of the city. And some have grown with the history of this figure.
Huh. That reminds me of the statue of Creo with the one who wore the mask and wasn't allowed to show its true face.
Oh yes. Wasn't that one of the Elements former members, if I recall hearing things correctly?
They're not.
Well, just shrugs.
Mm.
Interesting. But in any case, when he set up the city, the first thing he decided to build was the walls that surround the city. He wanted to make sure that Velvet was as protected in its own regard. Whether it's down to competition with Titanus or Maximilian at this point, or whether it's to make his own citizens safe. That reason I couldn't even tell you to this day. But Stonebreaker said he wanted to keep the walls up for the sense of prevailing things. Like, preserving, not preserving things is what I meant to say. Sorry.
Right.
And, well, it's hard to really say exactly what happened. I mean, it's a little hard to, well, it's a little hard to say much about it, but we at least hold him in some regard.
Hmm.
Anyway, please, come with me. We must head
look-
to the Iron.
Wait, moment. Drip looks at the statue of Mimans and goes, Okay, oh, sorry. Okay, I'm coming.
Okay, if you want, you can make a perception check if you'd like. The name of the show!
You know what? Sure. But do you know what I'm trying to perceive?
You tell me, Sherlock.
That's what I'm gonna say. She's trying to picture the cider in a certain robe.
Okay, I think I know where you're going with this. Go ahead. Roll perception or roll investigation at disadvantage. So it's perception at normal or investigation if you want to be a bit closer.
No, it's perception because she's not moving too far away because she's ordered to stay close. So
That's
she
fair.
probably can't. I would investigate if she could get closer, but she's just perceiving it now.
That's fair.
7.
7. You just get a nice look at it. It just looks. You're really distracted by how polished it looks.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, you know what I was trying to do. She's trying to see if it remembers her of a shape in the form of the black
I
pen
know,
members. But
yeah.
it's like,
I had
could
a
it
feeling.
be? Nah. It's like nah. Just a bit of paranoid in her brain.
It can't be.
Oh, could it? Swirly beard, swirly beard.
That only works if you have a goatee.
Damn, why did I shave yesterday? Anyway.
Well, to be fair,
Anyway,
Stonebreaker was hypnotized by one. That's why she suspected it.
Fair do. It's a proper question. Alright, so, Arle leads you now down the western area of the city and leads you past a sort of park area to the left, as you know, which, to sum it up, the statue is right here on the corner, basically where Trip is standing. The statue is about here, just to sum it up there.
So
But the grove, but yeah, as they're walking by the grove, you see what looks like 5 large sand rings scattered around the grove. And in the middle of the 5th one, you see a red flag basically perched on a pole. And the flag is like about maybe 10 feet above the ground. The others have nothing else in them.
Huh.
Looks like it could be used for like general activities or a training ground.
Training ground is one word for it. Ursula, wasn't it?
Correct, ma'am.
Well, it's funny that you actually mentioned that. You see, it's actually part of our tradition in this city. You know how Velvet always resides with the best of military power?
I did hear that it was the best military capital in all of Manu, yes.
Well, that still rings true. But, as you know, sadly, nobody is invincible, and nobody lives forever. People come and go by certain reasons, whether they've had enough or they've done their job. We always like to try to find the next to join our ranks. And here at the Grove, we always like to, as we like to call it, sharpen our troops. We hold a special festivity here. If anybody would like to, you are welcome to roll a history check if you want to know.
I declined because Trip was too distracted by the statue shininess.
I appreciate
You know
your
what?
time.
I'll do that. I'll
Yeah.
make a history check.
So
No,
I'm going to ask her. Would it be the Festive of the Fist?
Oh, you're referring to a similar event there? No, it's nothing to do with that.
Okay.
You see, the Festive of the Fist that they have at Creo is a more sportsmanship event. You know, chance for people to unwind, relax, show off themselves. Here, we don't do that. We do more other ways. And what have we got for numbers? Sorry.
5.
5, 7. Tapahe is more and more irritated. He's asked if he knows everything. Oh, okay. That's fair. Oh, yes, Trip.
no, I'm just asking now as the streamer. JC Floop says, today at work, one of my managers got me a $20 Steam gift card for my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Floof.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Enjoy your Steam gift card, my friend.
I
Usually
would
get a
say
really...
what I want to say, but we're on stream, so I can't. You already know what I said in the Discord chat anyway, so...
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So with those numbers, none of you guys have ever heard of this before. turns and I will just say that she did mention the name. Just like it's basically, it's like this is what we choose to declare as finding the blade. Is the name we like to call it, but it has a further name.
Right.
It's known as the Silver Blade Try. It's held
Right.
every we hold this every 20 we hold this every sorry not 20 we hold this every 10 years.
Huh.
Every 10 years we hold the Silver Blade Try. It's a competition to show your blade your merit and your essence to using its power. But before then, we hold smaller events. We hold skirmishes, tournaments, if you will.
Hmm.
Essentially put, every year before the next Silverblade Try, we hold a small tournament. It is welcome to anyone, and how it works is you fight as many times as you wish. If you defeat your opponent and knock them to the ground, causing them to surrender, you earn yourself a point. If you take a scratch from your opponent's blade, you lose a point. If you surrender and fall to the ground by proper means, you do not lose any points. We believe that it is better to perfect the war that you fail to get out without a scratch. Letting yourself get hit is not what we want in this city. At least that's what our army's philosophy goes. And then, the 10 warriors who survive the final round go into the Silverblade Try, where they do the same thing again, but this time with more lethal stakes.
Hmm.
Ursula winces at that word.
Say, and Zelion does too.
Well, you all may wince, but ironically, in the years that we've held this, only 2 people have died over the numerous years we've done this. The Silverblade Try has been held for almost nearly about 150 years by now.
Hmm.
Still, the possibility that you could die during these trials. Doesn't that defeat the entire purpose, though, of trying to better yourself?
True, but that is sadly the creed that's gone by in this city. If you're strong enough to fight, then you're strong enough to die.
Hmm.
If you're strong enough to wield a blade, then you're strong enough to kill.
Hmm.
At least, that's what we've gone by lectures. There have been some who have been wanting to change the way that they've done things, and I'll admit, myself included, at parts. But unfortunately, it's not as simple as that. You see, the Silver Blade Try does have one other merit to it, and that's after the festivities are done. The soldier who comes out on top with the highest score gets an opportunity to make themselves a declaration. If they wish, they can challenge the current leader of the guard or the leader of the city to a duel. If they win, they can make one free declaration which they must abide by. They do not take their spot, they still have to earn that the normal way as every army does. But, unfortunately, those that fail, they forfeit their win and it goes to the next rank. In short, it goes to the one who learns their place, according to the system. But that also means that the one who chooses to fight, if they lose, they still get to live, they don't get to die. But there are some who have, well,
But that's no way to. Ursula just looks away uncomfortably.
it's no way to properly live.
It's like slaving yourself to the system.
Well, that's one way to word it, Missy, if you call that. And coming from behind, you see a giant sort of a Goliath coming behind you, about 7'5".
Hey, someone taller than Trip. Finally, we
Yeah.
found them.
Fun fact, it's actually taller than Stonebreaker.
Uh-huh.
Oh my days.
And he comes in there with, on his neck, carrying it literally like this, with a giant hand axe with a stone bladed front there, comes up there behind you all, wearing the same style outfit as the guards, but you also see decorated on the silver, you see decorated it with small dark red stains decorated on the armor.
Yee.
He goes, sorry, Captain. I was in the area and I couldn't help it. You're starting to give tours now. Is that something new? Oh, hush. It's not like that at all. So, what exactly are you doing? Well, these, mercenaries were tasked to were tasked to come to Velvet for some military aid for Helix. All right, that whole crap about what happened up there. Honestly, they should just send me to do it. I could take it lickety split. That always seems to be your effort, doesn't it, Brutus? It's not Brutus. You know that's what we call you. Look, you can call me whatever you want. You can call me Shitstain for all I care. But I have a proper name, and I live with that. Okay.
What-
Nice to meet you, Shitstain. I'm Liam.
God damn it, Liam.
Yeah, he points at you, and he with his hand there, he sort of does that, and he goes, "You."
Me.
That tongue of yours is pretty quick and sharp. You're not afraid to speak a piece.
Eh,
Tell me, Liam, where do you hail from?
currently everywhere, nowhere, since my workshop has been destroyed.
Helix.
You had a Wait, you had a workshop in Helix?
Had, yes.
Shit, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. Mind if I ask what happened?
Hmm.
If it's too personal, I won't say it. I won't ask any more. I'm sorry. As Raven froze? Oh, no, it's not froze. I see his mouth move.
He's just going like,
Yeah.
He's
He's
not
just
saying
doing that.
anything.
I think Liam is trying to give him the silent treatment.
No,
Yeah.
Liam's just having flashbacks of being.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
Anyway,
Womp town.
okay. Anyway, what is your name, if you don't mind me asking?
Straight to the point. My name is Valak.
Valak?
Valak.
Valek.
Yep. That is exactly how it's spelled. Valek.
That was just a guess.
Yeah. Good guess.
I had a feeling.
that's not even close to Brutus.
Yeah. Well, we call him Brutus because of basically that big flipping thing on his shoulders. What? It's not my fault. And he wields it forward, and you see this. He goes, they call me Brutus because of Brutus here. This is my baby. His name is Brutus.
I am heavy weapons guy, and this is my gun.
He knew someone was gonna do it. I am Valak Goliath, and this is my weapon. I was so tempted to go with that. I'm not gonna. He goes, the name is Valak. I'm part of the captain's guard. In fact, I'm one of Stonebreaker's personal guards. He told me to stick around here and keep an eye on things, so you could call me like the new one in charge. Well, I'm a shit job at it, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I handled the physical stuff when people got rowdy. Alla here did most of the word and legality stuff. I know words, I do. Okay, I'll let that slide. Yeah. And he just goes, Aladdin goes, Valak, this isn't the time to go. Right, sorry. I was in the area, but I couldn't help your word, Missy. You said it's not the way to live in the city.
Well, mostly because of the social hierarchy status. Like, if somebody remains at their low rank, wouldn't they just be ridiculed until the next festival? They'd be looked down upon, wouldn't they?
You make it. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, and I don't blame you for thinking that. But truthfully, most of the people in this city generally like this. Not for the sake of a rank, but for the fact that they get to be a part of it. For a lot of people, there are people who are afraid to die. Understandable. I mean, if you die before you make a mark on something, you tend to either be the one known for the crap response, or you'd be the one known for not making a mark on anything. Some people would prefer to die by making a mark and saying they got somewhere, while some would prefer to just live their life and not be known. It is a strange word, and I know it sounds weird, but most of the people in this city don't seem to give a crap about that type of thing, but then again, what do I know?
No, it's I didn't mean any offense by it, and I do
Nah.
suppose there are worse ways to go.
He walks up to you, Ursula, and he sort of bends down and best tries to get to sort of your level and look at you, goes, and sort of lifts you up with like the one hand as he's still holding it, goes, Listen, lass. I understand that many places are different in the world. Trust me, I'm sure as a mercenary or whatever you're doing, you've probably seen so much shit that so many different things have happened. Same for the rest of you lot, am I right?
You could say that.
Trip is just
Look,
looking at the situation a bit awkwardly.
look, the point at the end of the day is every place has their rules, every place has their people, and every place has their mark. How people want to choose to put themselves with that mark is down to them. Like, Liam, forgive me, but you ran a shop there. You wanted to make your mark by being what you were good at with your shop, am I correct?
True.
So, take it from me. In fact, want to know something? I'll tell you a little secret, just between you and me. For the longest time when I was growing up, I didn't really want to be a part of the army. I genuinely wanted to be, well, silly as it sounds, I wanted to be a baker. I mean, yes, I know, big guy bakery. Doesn't sound like the best combination, but
Um,
Normal where I'm from.
uh, and no, and same.
well, I appreciate. But the point is, everyone has a mark they must make. I only joined this because of my own reasons. I'd rather not go into that, because that's a different kettle of fish. But the point is, I understand that you question how things are done in this city. And I don't blame you. You're not the first, and I doubt in this world you'll be the last. So all I'll just say to you all is just learn to at least accept that this is how things we have here. And and he looks over at Al and goes, I know the captain isn't probably fond of this, as I'm sure she's told. You're not wrong. Heck, I'm not gonna lie, part of me feels like I wanted to try to challenge it, but I lost my opportunity to do it. I took the spot here and I worked my way up. I thought this was probably my only way to do it. And then when I got to see Stonebreaker in action, I've realized that he genuinely does care. But I think there's just different ways of saying that you care for someone in many different ways, you know?
Hmm. Yeah.
Vargas goes, anyway, I've kept up your time. Captain Arthur, I just wanted to let you know that the preparations are ready and they should be shipping out in the morning. Understood. Yeah, should be perfectly fine then. They should be. The ship will sail out and they'll head over to Castle later on. Not Castle. Damn it, wrong place. they'll be heading off to Carlo.
Carlo?
Oh, Carlo is a small little island settlement that is, well, part of Monu, but it's a bit further south. Takes about 2 days of traveling down there, but we tend to give them some supplies and things. In exchange, they give us some goods, fruit, vegetable, stuff like that. The stuff you'd expect from that type of area.
Interesting.
Do I know of this place because I technically not from Manu and
Roll a history check. So many history checks, everybody.
Hmm.
New show. History check. Who dis?
history check with Neil deGrasse Tyson. History's +1.
It's a sequel show to Mike Tyson from Encyclopedia Britannica.
Oh really? I am not getting buff tints today.
Oh, is that a shit roll? Oh, 7. No, it's out of your range. You're from more of the western area of Monu. From out of that range, you're unfamiliar with what's to the south.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Valet just goes. But yeah, they'll be heading out to Carvel in the morning. With your permission, I'll get back to my patrol. Very good, Valak. Keep going, and thank you for your time. No problem. Take care, everybody, and the little Missy who said something. It may not be much for
That
me.
was me.
Keep your chin up. The world may be a shit place, but sometimes you have to remember, if you find a shit place, you can always leave it better.
Point
Just flesh.
taken. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Valak. And the name's Ursula, by the way.
I'll keep that to my mind, too. Mind if I, hey, Captain Arla, mind if I ask a question in private? Sure. Just wait here, everybody. We'll carry on in a moment, if that's okay.
Sure.
I didn't have the token and things, but they move towards like the center area of the grove, and you see them sort of standing in the middle of a ring. Basically, the ring with the flag in the center. They are basically just chatting to themselves. Their backs are turned to you guys to keep things quiet and stuff like that. While they're having this talk, does anybody wish to do anything?
I'm just gonna put a hand on Ursula's shoulder.
Something about Valak's words just made me think of my father.
Yeah. If it helps.
Different ways of caring about someone, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll never know what my father's true feelings were like under all those experiments, but I at least know that he regretted what he did, and I've made peace with that.
That's good to know.
Doesn't make it any more right, though.
No, I get you. I get you.
Hey,
Yep.
I would like you to roll a history check for me, please.
Oh no!
I wonder if it's gonna lead to I knew
Don't
it.
tell
Greed.
No, Chris, don't do this. Don't tell me that Tapperhay's gonna have something to do with Erickson.
Happy Life Erickson Day. Nope.
A 3.
He doesn't know Life Erickson Day.
No, but that wasn't what I was rolling for.
Good.
Tap,
That would
Tapahay.
suck.
Just listen, Tapahay.
Yep.
During the conversation, you didn't really take any notice, but something about the name of the place that the shipment was going to is giving a small feeling in your head, but it's very, very unclear as to why. But it's doing something, but it's minuscule. Basically, think of it as it unlocked a small cog, but it's not turning the rest of it yet.
Ah.
Just a note.
But essentially, I'm getting that sort of familiar, unfamiliar sensation.
Yeah, like what the hell's going on?
You're like,
Yeah, it's like, Where we're going, Woody Allen.
Okay, in that case, as I'm trying to remember something that isn't coming, I'm just getting more irritated.
We won't do any roll, don't worry.
yeah,
Okay,
he's irritated.
Yeah, so 5 minutes go. 5 minutes go by, and then Captain Ale does a salute. Valak does a salute. Valak turns to you all and does one back, and then walks off towards the southern area of the city. And then Ale comes back in your direction.
Link, link.
Right. Well, with that said, I apologize about that. Shall we carry on?
Trip nods.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very well. Please, follow me. And they go towards the Iron Tooth. And there you see another set of doors that are about the same as the ones that you came through to get into the city, but they are more heavily ironed, if that makes sense. Like there's more iron sort of casing around it to be more sturdier. And outside you see 4 guards, 2 on each side. And as Captain Ali approaches, they all salute. And they open the door, and she basically just turns to you and just goes,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and walks in.
Trip follows.
Do you all follow?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I have no reason to doubt this.
All right. So, as you lot go inside, as the last of you goes inside, the doors slam with a heavy thud behind you, and you are inside this small enclosed like area, and before you is a sort of large one-floored basically building that is decorated with 3 flags on the front, all with the same design. And based on the fact that Ali is there, Ali goes, as she turns, she just goes, "Welcome, everyone. This be the Iron Tooth." And basically, to sum it up, because you guys will probably notice this coming in, the flags hold the crest of the city of Velvet. It is their crest. Just to sum it up.
Crestable.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, we're here. You wish to speak with us?
Inside?
She turns to you all and just goes, "Yes. So first of all, I would like to ask about something, and this is proper proper stuff. The tabaxi at the front there seemed alarmed, and mostly towards the 3 of you, and points to each of you 3, basically Trip, Celion, and Liam.
Mhm.
Tell me, what is exactly up with those gems of yours? Because that seems to be the catalyst here."
Oh, and the Trip says, oh, catalyst. We still have to find catalyst, right?
I have catalyst. I pull out the catalyst shard.
Oh, right, that's catalyst. Sorry, I'm just laughing at the player. It's like, oh, right there.
Right.
With respect, it's not so much as a joke response, but I really do need to know what the heck is going on here.
Do you want the truth?
Nothing but the truth.
I would like the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Uh,
After
uh,
all.
You
After all.
can't handle the truth.
No, if I throw you guys into the cells, you can't handle the tooth.
Oh.
Well, if it helps, we can't. Well, we're not. We're.
Trip speaks up. Oh, there are dragons in there.
God, Trip!
Trip.
We were
Welcome.
sworn an oath of secrecy. Remember?
Like, as I was. Yes, I was trying to say we were sworn to secret. We're kind of on a secret mission from Titanus Ron.
So I gathered by Ursula's little note that got shared.
And
So, sorry, carry on.
no, I was just gonna say, and not only that, but we can't exactly take these shards off. They're soulbound to us. I demonstrate this by trying to take off the catalyst shard.
As you tried to do so, yeah, it does not come off.
Mm.
Hmm.
It-
Can you show me then? Because that's the reason we are in here. And at that point, you watch as standing now in the doorway, 10 guards come out, and they are all holding heavy crossbows towards your direction.
Gonna die.
I do not want to take another arrow to the chest.
Or an arrow to the knee.
Ale turns to the guards and just goes, "Hold. Please wait." But you brought them into this. You brought them in. I know where I brought them. You will stand down till I get an explanation. If anyone fires a shot, I will make sure that the next one that is shot will be back at the one who started it. And at that point, they all lower, but they're not completely off guard, if you know what I mean. They are alert, I think is the best way to describe it.
Oh, you want us to show? Do any of us have a lot of meat or something like that?
Why?
It's a long story, but the short version is there's a lot of persuasion that needs to take place before we can show you. And that persuasion involves sating the beast's appetites.
Is this true? Looking to all three of you.
I mean, mine, for the most part, doesn't really need to be tempted with meat. But who knows how long it's been since he's eaten anything.
Well, that's interesting to know, Your Highness. And you, the truth one.
Me?
Yes, the one who was happy to oblige with my request.
Well, mine sometimes comes out when it has to say something or has to show, but it likes having some food on the side for after showing or talking.
And what about you, Artificer?
I really haven't tried, so maybe it'll be easy, maybe not.
You have never tried?
No?
Interesting. So we have 2 experienced ones who've done this, and one never done it before. So that means you must have acquired this quite early then. Or recently, should I say.
No, it's just that I don't like to rely on external factors.
Yeah, Liam has Archgem from the Temple of the Claw.
Yeah, the
Oh,
arch.
that's right. Okay.
The one we
Yeah,
said.
but
Azaran is still with Chopper's character, with Magnus still technically.
Mhm.
for now.
Yes.
Arch Gem.
Archgem. It's the Archgem gem. It's that
Yeah.
scene from the Muppet. It's that scene from Muppets Treasure Island. I'm not Jimmy Jim. Jimmy Jim. He's Jimmy Jim. Jimmy Jim.
I remember that. That was Gonzo. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
With Billy Connolly. God bless Billy Connolly. God bless him. Yeah, he's not dead, by the way. He's just a very old comedian. Just very old.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I was saying this right now. If you ever want to see a Scottish man be truly funny, he is definitely your guy. But anyway, moving off that. Anyway, so Alia just looks and goes, Zelion, Your Highness,
Yes.
can you show me? You do
Oh.
trust me, right?
I want to. I pull out the Kevlar shard. All right. Cobalt. We need. We kind of need you right now. In small form.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion. Oh gosh, with advantage. Okay, so
Are we all enjoying this, by the way?
Yes. It's good tension.
That's something, you guys. Oh, wait, you have a 12 for persuasion?
That's called being a bard.
yes,
Fucking hard.
yes.
Must explain
no.
must.
I have
Must
high.
ex-
I have high
He does-
charisma stats.
Oh my god!
Be glad it was seduction.
Natural 20 with a plus 12 modifier?
And it's an
No.
advantage too.
Del,
Yeah.
what's the number total?
32.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our first over 30 roll, I think, in a while.
The bard
Yeah.
tempts the dragon joke.
Give me a second. I have it on standby. Zelion, the moment you even uttered the first word, the shard literally shines. Everyone is sort of, oh. Ollie just looks into it as somebody just goes, to like as the guards are holding their weapons, literally ready, and right there before you, in a brighter glow than usual, is the little dragon that lives in your shard.
Ooh.
Dragon tails.
Ta-da!
You brought me out to show me, Zelion? Or I presume this is something you want me to deal with?
Actually, Arlene knows kind of found out about the shards.
Who let it slip this time? Was it Magnus again?
He's not no, no.
Oh dear.
Security check.
Wait, where is he?
Yeah.
He's dealing with a curse at a shop right now, so he's not with us. He thought it'd be safer.
You're trusting him with magic? That's your first mistake.
I
Exactly.
mean, what choice did we have?
You could have left somebody more magical.
Hey, Cobalt. This is the most vocal I've seen you in a while. But yeah, we need to. Okay, but yeah, Arlie needed to know about the shards because
Oh. And at that point, as Cobalt turns around, Ale is now standing about literally 2 feet away from it.
yeah.
Incredible.
And that's not even his final form.
No, I just figured this would be him being in this form would be less intimidating. Don't want to scare the people of the town after all.
Oh, the spring. Oh, the spring. Sorry, couldn't resist. All right, yeah. Welcome, Maddie. Thank you. All right, yeah. So it appears that this is true, and I presume your other two have the same situation.
If not,
And you, Liam?
Oh.
I am
Short answer, yes. Long answer, he hasn't tried it yet.
I see. Guards, stand down for now. Just go inside and prepare things. No! Goes inside, and Ali goes back and just goes, So, Zelion, you have no idea how much this is actually impressive.
Is it really?
Where the fuck did you get this? I apologize for breaking, but what the fuck?
This was actually given to Catalyst was actually given to us by the leader of Helix.
I see.
Yeah, and he bound and Cobalt ended up binding himself to me.
I see. And looks over at you, Liam. Liam, did you know that your city had a dragon?
No?
But you
People never
can't-
tell me important things. Well, at least not back then.
I see.
No one really, not a lot of people know about the dragons. They've been kept, their history has been kept a secret.
I see.
and,
I see.
and now you see
Dragons
why.
are cool, though.
And now you see why I had to say we had it, but I couldn't say everything, so I was kind of in a bind, of being honest.
Why I remain true neutral.
Well, I guess that answers everything then.
Good. Now we can go.
Not so fast, Liam.
Oh.
There is one thing I just have to confirm. These dragons. Is this their form as of now? Or can they change it?
What do you mean?
Can they change their size, their body, you know?
Oh.
I only remember dragons being, you know, big, scary, fire breathing, you know, rah!
Oh, that.
Oh, yeah, Cobalt. Oh, yeah, this form right now that Cobalt's in, that's not the size he's usually at.
On a side note, I just also see Tappy just looking at the dragon, so Tappy's probably just like, doo, doo.
Yes.
I had the first time
And,
seeing the dragons.
And also, Heidi, I am aware that the dragon's name is Cobalt, but he's in the Catalyst Shard.
Really?
Okay.
I had it written down as copper.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, he's the copper my bad, sorry.
There you go.
He's a copper dragon.
There you go.
Well, if you want to
That's
go,
fine.
Again, Dumb brain!
Don't
Trip-
worry, don't worry.
Trip chimes in and says, like, well, if you want to get with Big and Fire, that's more with the one I'm carrying.
Hey, look, the dragons are meant to be kept a secret from the public, and there's good reason for that.
Do tell.
Uh, well, okay, well, can you promise to keep this a secret from the public?
Make a persuasion check.
All right.
Yeah, I thought I didn't need persuasion because it's kind of.
Okay.
You got to remember this from Arla's perspective. You know, it's a dragon.
30.
What the frick?
That was an
High
18, so
roll.
it doesn't matter.
Sure, let me roll inside. See where this goes.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I have high charisma.
That's Bard. It's Bard in a nutshell.
Yep.
Mhm.
Side note, I hit my light by mistake. Just getting up in frustration.
It's alright.
Yes. I rolled to see if this would be believable.
Uno momento. BRB.
Fucking rolled the natural 20.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Whoa.
Fair enough, my plan's not gonna happen. Alright. Alright, so she looks and goes, alright, I trust the fact that you would be not having this otherwise, so go ahead.
Oh, all right. You see, there's
Oh,
a group of
What? One
there's-
second. Just 1 second.
Mm.
We should make sure that there are no prying ears! And coming from around the doorway, you suddenly see another of the guard is standing there, and they have their fingers held to a choker as well. And at that point, Arla just turns and just goes, turn it off. Thank you. All of you, out here now.
Sorry.
No!
Sorry about that. That was Kitten Night protocols.
Okay.
That's
Liam
fine.
joins the guards and walks away.
No, you stay here.
All of us.
I meant stay. No, I meant stay here in they're coming out to they're coming out to the yard, and now you see instead of 10, there are now 20 guards coming out, and they're all stood there. And you see that 5 of them all have chokers, and you see Arla just look at them, just go, remove and turn off.
What are the
No.
chokers for?
Oh, they're actually a relay message system that we use within the city. They're magical artifacts that are used to store conversations. Think of it as holding a voice and then broadcasting it later. So essentially, to sum it up, you basically just negated a voice recorder. That's basically what you just negated.
Liam's
see.
just going to walk up to one of them and just tries to figure out how it works.
What are you doing, sir? Please,
Stand still, stand still.
Captain, please. He goes, please, is traveling. Just, Liam, you can look. Just don't touch until I give permission. It's not that I don't trust, but I need to know what's going on your end first. Please.
Thank you.
Liam, if you'd like, you can make a perception check just to have a look at it from where you are right now if you want.
Sure.
Oh no.
10.
10.
A 10, okay. All you can see for the brief moment without getting even closer and making them even more uncomfortable to the point of where they won't show it, you basically see on the one... So I will say that there are... You know what, I'll say... You can tell by looking at some of them that 3 of them, ones that you can see clearly from your position, 3 of them look exactly the same. So you can tell that they're roughly the same. And essentially it is like it is sort of a black choker in sort of like a near sort of almost necklace-like, but it's sort of wrapped around their neck. And in the middle of like the clip is a small red gem with sort of gold dots beads circled around it.
Hmm.
Interesting. And he just grabs a piece of paper and some ink and a feather.
Oh no, I know what I gotta work with later.
Sketching a diagram.
Yeah, that's fair, that's fair, that's fair. Alright, so Arla looks and just looks over you and goes, okay, continue, Zelion.
Right. Right. There's this group. There's this group that's after the dragon shards.
And who would this group be?
They they call themselves the Black Pen.
The Black Pen. Wait. Yes, I remember them coming up in a conversation once.
Hmm.
It was from an old text log. It was all from a log from one of our recorded diary entries.
Oh, really?
Yes. Hang on a second. Bloody hell! Who was the last one in the library log? Me. And he goes, Samantha. Not Samantha. I gave him a guy voice, so I called Samantha. I'm an idiot. I'm just going with it. Bob.
That's Bunny
Bob.
Puppet's name.
Yeah. He said, Bob, come here, Bob. He goes, Bob, can you check the diary entry for me and just make sure we check on that? I need you to look up anything involving the Black Pen. Check all of the logs you can. This is important. Ma'am! Rushes back into the iron tooth.
Trip holds up her hand. If need be, I believe I still have one of their robes with me. To show that they're there.
Sure, if you're willing to show us.
I believe I still have that. Yeah, I still have it.
Yes, Okay.
So Trip
Go ahead.
grabs her bag, opens it, looks through it. Not the sendings. No, we can't use that. And then, here it is. And she hands the robe that she found long ago in the mines.
Interesting. Where did you get this?
I forgot the city's name for a moment.
It was back at Noir.
Noir. I was like Nocturne. No, it's not Nocturne, you idiot. It's something with that. Yeah, but Noir.
Close. Yeah.
I found it in the mines near Noir.
I do remember this symbol. Oh shit.
Have you encountered the Black Pen?
Not the pen, but I remember seeing this symbol. It was on the day we thought we lost you.
Wait, what? I rush up to Arle. Are you saying a Black Pen member was there that day?
Bah!
I don't know about Black Pen per se, but I remember a figure talking to your father, and they were wearing that robe with that symbol.
Hands up. Hey, Moonraven! What do you mean, dumb bucket, with your 25-month sub?
Oh.
Are you just randomly giving dumb buckets?
Yeah.
No, just resubscribed.
Also,
Hey!
that seems broken. Yeah, 0 month. Subscribe for 0 months. Yeah, that seems broken.
Unless Raven's not been doing it. But yeah, so she looks at, Al goes, Yeah, I remember somebody coming wearing that and talking to your father once.
Do you know what they said?
Mm,
Or
give me a
what?
give me a second. That's cocked. That's cocked again.
Cocky poo poo.
Okay. So, she thinks heavily for a moment. And she's like, oh, come on, come on. Oh, I remember hearing something. Remember. And she sort of begins to pace back and forth. She's trying to think about it clearly in the mind. And then, with a 15 on the roll, by the way, she
Okay.
goes, I don't remember everything, but they they talked about they talked about the idea that they saw something and they were warning of the presence of something, but that's all I remember.
War warning warning.
I don't know much else than that. That's all I remember.
I I I just take a step back. I jeez. I did was and I just kind of and I just start mumbling to myself. Could could that be the reason why he was in the mountains?
Do you say this out loud for them to hear?
I mumble no, I'm kind of mumbling it to myself.
Okay.
But you're right in front of Arlie.
Yeah, you're still somewhat in front of that. Well, you took a step back, so it's whether you were still loud enough or whether you're trying to keep quiet-ish about it.
I'm trying to keep quiet.
Okay, that's fair. All
I,
right.
I have I have many I have a lot of questions to ask you, Arle. Not even just about this, about but just about my father, the Geiserdran, just everything. If if that's all right with you?
I don't know what else I could really offer, but I do remember a few little details about it, so I'd be happy to share when I can, but for now, let's finish the reason why I brought you all here, and then we'll take it from there. Does that sound okay to all of you?
That's fair.
Trick nods.
Hopefully my colleague will come back eventually with the answers I seek as well. So, just so I can understand the story straight, you're all on this expedition for the shards because of this black pen. Is that the short version of it?
Sh- short version, yes. They're trying to get the shards for taking over Manu reasons. That's all we can really say.
I see. And all of you are involved in this for certain reasons, I'm guessing?
Trick nods.
Yeah, I don't have any money left, and my workshop would be rebuilt for free if I helped here.
I I just I just hold up the initial invitation letter I got from Titanus Ron. And I I I was tasked with this from the beginning.
And I've
Will
seen.
just looks away uncomfortably.
I see. And what about you? Uh, the beast-like figure. You've been awfully quiet. What's your involvement in this?
Sorry, just to clarify something, is there a black pen symbol on display in the room, or was it just being talk back.
It is on the vet. Oh, right. I forgot about that. Thank you for the reminder. Yes, it is. It is. It was on display from the jacket that Trip pulled out.
Okay. I'm going to pull something out of my thing. Is that symbol triggering anything, or
It would be triggering something. Aeon, I would like you to roll a D100.
fantastic?
Of course.
Welcome to the game, Aeon.
Yeah. In that case, as she's asking, Tape's vision is just focused on the symbol, and 79.
Damn, 10 short of a joke.
Grim
No.
Psychometry. Oh, wait, you have an ability? Ooh, let's have a look at this. Let's see. Grim Psychometry. When you reach 9th level, you gain a supernatural talent for discerning the secrets surrounding mysterious relics or places touched by evil. Whenever you make an intelligence history check to recall information about the scenes you're touching there, you have advantage on the tech. At the DM's discretion, a suitably high roll may cause your character to experience brief visions of the past. Interesting. Interesting.
Very fits his character, I'll be honest. That's a very good ability to fit with him.
Yeah. Why do you think we
Nothing's
worked
around.
with this? Okay.
Yeah, if that comes into play or not, but yeah.
Okay. In that case, Aeon. You do get a sense of something. To push it further and you want to do the Grim, I can allow you to do the check. You'd have to touch the rope to do it.
The rope?
Yeah, well, what's the thing
rope.
you're holding?
Oh, rope. If I said rope. What? Rope?
Oh. Yeah, you have to grab the rope. The Black Pet's fate. Okay, yeah. So roll the history with advantage for me, Mr. Aeon, if you wish to touch it. Oh no, yeah, history check. Sorry.
Essentially, just like back in the ice caverns with a thing, I'm just going to be almost drawn through the rope and approach.
Okay.
And suspense.
Ooh, that advantage saved you there. 16. Okay.
16
And-
times the details.
Okay, and you rolled what number again? 79?
Yes.
Okay, 79. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Tapahe. As you take hold of the garment, as the rest of you now watch as Tapahe just slowly moves forward, claws forward after Ale has asked this question. Ale is a bit taken back and is like, oh, and you grab hold of the base of it. A vision comes to your mind. You see yourself back in this familiar looking sight before you before. The sight of being in this liquid. You hear a voice. It sounds familiar, but it's hard to see a face. You can only still see a black silhouette there. You then fade out, and when you fade back in again, you find yourself suddenly outside of this familiar sight. You see yourself in a lush jungle with stone-like monuments around you. Pillars, statues broken to the ground. You see wreckage of like a large stone building. As you look up, you see standing at the top of it 3 figures. One dressed in white, one dressed in black, and one dressed in blue. They're all standing on top, and it's a bit hard to hear. You hear the sound of muffling as suddenly your ears begin to ring. And suddenly, whack! you feel the sound of something whack against you. You feel yourself falling forward as you do. And as you find yourself lying on your side, literally eyes growing dim, you see another figure come towards you. You see another black cloak figure. They touch your head, and you hear it. And it goes, "This one's still up." You can hear they're having a conversation, and as you can get a glimpse of your position, it looks like they're talking upwards, but you don't know who to exactly. You then hear them go, "Right, this one will do. Get him back to the ship now. Don't question things. Just get him back." And as that happens, you suddenly feel yourself lifted as your eyesight dims. And at this point, the last phrase that you hear is the sound of voices charging in your direction as you're being cut away, as you see the vision blur. It's hard to make out the numbers, but you do hear them say a name. Lalik. And it basically comes out, goes, "Down with Lalik! He will not take her home for the sake of..." And it just fades out as it does. And the last thing you then hear is when you open your eyes slowly again, back in this vision, you find yourself back in the weird green-like state. And then you see a face. You see a pair of hands pressed on the glass. And then you see a face lean in, literally going in slowly with a grin that just goes,
Ugh.
"Aren't you beautiful? You'll do just fine. I'm sure you'll fit in perfectly fine. You'll replace it perfectly. And it's going to be so fun to watch." And the face pulls away. And then you see a flash of light, and the symbol is before you, looking straight beyond through the concoction you were in. And then suddenly, you're back in the real world. You let go of the cloak, and all of a sudden, you find yourself gasping, panting, literally to the point of you are panicking, to the point of you don't know what's happening. You feel your breath suddenly becoming heavy, and you suddenly just wrap yourself up, almost to the point of where you can feel your nails digging right into your own body, to the point of near where blood would form. And suddenly, you just feel yourself there, just collapsed on your knees, in front of everyone.
What?
What happened?
Tapperhay? I speak Leonin to him. Are you okay?
And Tapahey, at this point, because you rolled that number, let's grant you an extra boon right now, shall we?
Ooh.
Aeon, I would like you to roll a d6 for me, please.
Oh.
Okay.
Don't say I don't have fun for these characters.
I know I do.
The worst part is Aeon doesn't even know about this.
No, I don't.
What'd you roll?
A 4.
A 4. Okay, let's go back a few pages. Okay. So Tapahey. As everyone has reacted to the situation, now I have to ask, does anybody approach him at this point, by the way? Does anyone actually approach him, or do you just stand by?
I'm going to carefully approach him.
I'm nearby, so I don't have to approach him. Basically, I
Yeah,
gave the
I
rope,
just- I-
so yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't know if anybody rushed to actually grab him or whether they just stood by to watch or they didn't care.
Tripper's already at the ready. He's already seeing if he needs a spell or something.
Okay.
I'm
So-
standing back, and my hand is on on one of my daggers.
That's fair. Liam, you're busy inspecting the choker. Do you do anything else in this response as well? No, you're all distracted by the choker.
Question.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, it should be more from Zelion's part, but Cobalt's also there.
Yeah, Cobalt's technically there. Cobalt's actually, you know what? Cobalt's going to rush over and just try to sort of hold up as best they can without Tapahe falling over. Tapahe. All of a sudden, you feel funny on the inside, just a little bit. You take a deep breath in to try to calm your nerves. And with a little exhale, you then give a loud, hard cough. And Tapahe, a small bit of your vocalness comes back. Though your memory still hasn't. At this point, Aeon, I will say, you are at least beginning to become a small bit familiar with the world. You are now a little less sheltered, so you have the permission to speak more freely now, if you wish.
Yay.
Yes, Aeon has officially unlocked the ability of free speech. That's essentially what he's got.
Yay!
Cool.
Well, if you gather from Tapahe, he mostly stood back. So now, basically, if Aeon wants Tapahe to be curious or say something, he will now do it. In short, Tapahe, you no longer could stay silent. Yeah, basically, this is my involvement to get him more involved.
Yay! +1 human right.
Yay!
Leonin right.
Leon and right.
We get to have our Leonin friend in full now. Yay!
Yeah. Hang on, Kotlo, how far are you in Forgotten Land?
Far enough.
Okay, so you're familiar with the lion?
I'm familiar with. And then were you here?
Oh, okay. You're familiar with him. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Sorry, I just remembered the little dance that he does at the end. Anyway, so yeah, so basically there. So Tapahe, yes, you do have the ability to speak, and you do recall all of the vision you just had.
Here we are.
Okay.
How do you react?
At this point, Tapahe is just still in the same position.
Dapperhay?
Do you require healing?
I just slowly approach him and wave my hand in front of Tapperhay's face.
At that point, Tapahe is going to attempt to grapple you.
Oh.
As if reacting to an attack.
Okay, that still hasn't changed. Okay, roll a d20 plus strength, please, Aeon. Actually, yeah, and you too, Zelion. Roll 2 contested strength checks.
Roll a strength check.
Yep.
Just straight roll. Straight strength.
Yep. Both of you roll strength plus your modifiers.
I have no modifiers.
And yet you still beat him. I think. Oh no, he rolled a d6. Sorry, that's a 4. My apologies. I looked at the wrong number.
Yeah, he still has to roll.
Oh dear.
God, is this not rolling now? There we go.
Gonna be hard to beat him.
Yeah, I seem to be getting a bit of lag for the rolls.
Okay.
Maybe
There we
this
go.
was-
Oh!
Oh.
Zelion won!
I have 0. I have +0 in strength.
Well,
I have a just 10 strength.
Okay. So Zelion, as Tape notices this and grabs hold, you instantly pull back the moment he grabs before he can fully get it grasped on you, and you just go.
Hey! I draw my dagger. I don't approach him quite yet, but it's enough to try and look at least intimidating.
But at that point, Liam, you see them all. You see the guards in the robot, and all of them are pointing heavy crossbows towards Tape.
Huh?
Liam
Oh God.
is just like, oh right, something's happening.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Just a bit startled.
As you sort of stop his grab, that's when he seems to come out of it. Just looks almost confused and lets you go.
Well, you failed to grapple, so it's more like...
Yeah, you failed to get the grab, but you're basically there just like this. Like that. Like you just it's like you just realize I've done something. I've done something. Oh.
Hey.
What?
At that point, Ale looks back and goes, "Do you want to explain why you just suddenly did that, Mr. Lionel Thing, sir?"
I'll wait for that response first before I do anything.
Tabahay.
Right.
Sorry. And yeah, I seem to be back to normal. Tapay's not trying to attack or anything again. Just...
He is a strange one.
Well, we didn't find him in the best places, and he seems to have amnesia, and well, yeah.
I see. Well, I guess it might be best if we get some... We might want to get somebody to have a little look at him, I think. Just to be on the safe side. If Tapahay's okay with that.
Trip looks at Tapahay.
I saw something, but it doesn't make any sense.
Is he? He's more vocal than.
Huh.
Must have remembered
he-
something.
Remembered something? Wait, you were trying to grab this. Tapahay. And she turns the cloak over to reveal the symbol again. Is this something that triggered you?
I saw jungle ruins, cloaked figures. He's just gonna hold his head almost like he's having a migraine.
Oh,
Were they your were they your memories?
Maybe.
Why wouldn't they be his memories? Who else would you remember for?
Said I would do. They would have fun watching.
Watching? Watching what?
I don't know.
Okay. I can tell something has really got to him. Maybe it might be best if you guys get yourself a place to get him settled down. I know a small little inn that can probably do some justice if that's any help for you.
That
That
would be nice.
yeah, that would be
Very
great.
nice.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
So there is two I would recommend, but it depends where you wish to go. There's the Sailor's Tankard, which is located towards the dock area in the southern part of Velvet, or there's the Guidance of Joy, which is located towards the western part of the city.
What's the difference between the two?
The Sailor's Tankard is mostly where ship porters would like to go and reside. It's also a place where deal makers are basically set up for people to organize shipments to go in and out of the city. Next door to that, they have an establishment set up where people can stay. It is mostly a place for, like, the captains and sailors who want to have a proper bed rather than a sailing ship. But it is the cheaper of the two options. But with my influence, I could probably get you there for maybe a free night, but I can't promise anything. Whereas the Guidance of Joy is your more stereotypical type of tavern. It is towards a nice, classy place, but the difference there is they don't have as many rooms. So many of you guys might be sharing, but they have much better quality in products. I could probably get you guys maybe half a price for the night, but that's the best I could probably do with there. After all, they both owe me favors, and with my rank, I could probably help with a bit. In a way, I kind of feel partially responsible by looking at this. So I want to do something, you know?
Right. Well, I vote for the docks.
Agreed.
If not,
Is it? Very well. Give me a second. And she rushes inside. The guard that you were making a note of, by the way, Liam, he's looking at you just going, Are you getting my picture or something?
Why would I take a picture of you?
What are
Liam
you
just walks
doing?
away.
Oh, no.
I observe this and I toss the poor guard a gold. I say, ignore him. He's just a jerk.
Oh. Friend says I look beautiful. All right, anyway. So it takes about 3 minutes, and then Arlie comes back out, and she's holding in her hand a small white envelope and hands it to you, Zelion.
I take the envelope.
You see on the top right corner there is a signature mark of what you see is the same symbol as the ones on the Iron Tooth. And basically it just goes, tell them that's from Arlie. They'll hook you up for the night. Hopefully so. You need to head towards the Diamond Docks. When you get down to but just be wary though. The one thing you are going to need to do though is the docks are mostly a place for business. So you are going to need to let the harbor master know that you'll be in the area going towards the docks. The harbor master is very, excuse the pun for a ship, but very stern when it comes to, people in the area that are not, sailors, if you catch my drift.
Right. So, just to clarify, I give this envelope to the person who works at the docks or the tavern.
You give that to the person who works at the docks. He will. Sorry, I should probably explain who you're looking for.
That would help.
You are looking for a man. His name is Tundra Armada.
Tundra Armada.
You'll recognize him. He's basically hangs around towards one of the main. He hangs towards the southern point, and is basically he's basically the flashiest type of guy you'd expect to see around here. You're looking for a guy who's wearing a big blue hat with a red feather sticking out of it. Hand him that note, and they'll handle the rest.
Big blue
Alright,
hat with a red feather. Got it.
with the red feather. All right. What about his race? Is he human, elven, orcish?
Oh, he's human.
Oh, okay. Okay. And
And explain
Alright.
explain the situation to him, and tell him it's Ale redeeming a favor if he asks any questions.
oh, all right. And where? Okay. And where can we find the docks? Where in town?
Oh, it's if you head back to the crossroads where we saw the statue. Head down the southern road there that goes towards past the grove. Once you get there, you'll come across a large plaza, which is known as the Old District. When you get to the Old District, you'll see a sign that has an anchor painted on it. Follow that sign, and that will lead you to the entrance to the Diamond Docks.
Oh, all right. Consider it done. I give a salute.
Always. But I do have to warn you about one thing there, and this is something you should be aware. There tend to be more than just deals there. There are people who will come by and try to cause some trouble just because of who they are. Mainly, you might come across pirates.
Ah, wait. A military town is hosting pirates?
We
It's a
tend
little
to,
bit counterintuitive.
It is, but we are a military part. The pirates who come by, even though we know they are troublemakers, as long as they do not commit any problems within the sights of Velvet, they are abiding. But that doesn't mean they don't get into a little bit of roughhousing here and there, drunken stupor, slamming insults, pushing people through windows or off the docks themselves. The type of stuff that they all love to do. But the one you want to look out for is you need to look out for the crew of the Mermaid's Embrace. I know what you're about to ask. If any of you wants to roll a history check, you're welcome to do so.
Well,
I
again,
will
outside
roll-
mana. So,
I will roll a history check.
Sam?
So will I, actually, since I come from Noir. It's a port town, so...
Yeah. Oh, Raven!
I look for I listen to a lot of different stories, so I might have heard this one. 23.
23. Okay, well, Raven and Zelly. Okay. Okay. So, Ursula and Trip. Hard to really pinpoint as concerning what you guys have been involved with and such. You weren't really too familiar with the stories of pirates and things. Liam and Zelion, you are familiar with the Mermaid's Embrace, whether from stories or also, from your case, Liam, for people who might have involved in shipments that you were involved with passing deliveries from your area. The Mermaid's Embrace is a local area pirate ship that loves to sail around all of the islands of Monu, and it is led by a figure. Let me get my proper notes here. Sorry. There we go. Yeah. It is led by a human man who is known for wearing a red jacket with a mixture of white ribbons tied around, and it's sort of tied around like a belt. But attached to there is two makeshift gloves that lock together, kind of like it's embracing somebody.
Makeshift gloves?
Yeah, it's like but to sum it up, basically this figure has made gloves that are attached to a white rope, and they lock together like it's the clip of a belt.
So like this.
Okay.
So it's like this.
Yes, exactly. So like,
The
Nice.
hands
Yeah.
are like holding each other like this. It's like click.
Stylish.
yeah,
Mhm.
the best way to describe it is it's kind of like lock in like that, pull tight to click into place, and the hands lock together, and that counts as a clip. That's basically like that.
Oh,
Eh.
okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So red coat with white ribbon, with white ribbons with hands that clip around. So pretty much 6 pair of hands holding him together.
Kind of, yeah. Well, it's known to be
Perfect.
2 ropes. Yeah, like 6 of those, and there is a name attached to this. The crew don't go by much. However, their leader is a human by the name of Rakasta. So I had to check my notes there to do it. That's Rakasta. Rikasta.
I feel like I heard that name somewhere before, but a strip I don't know. So
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I really hope I haven't got my things mixed up from my fucking map, because I had the name written down. Please tell me I didn't muck up my name.
no, you didn't.
Cast. You're probably thinking of the actual casters.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rakasta.
Yeah. Oh, I've heard stories about that crew and their leader.
Well, you gotta be careful. From what I've heard, the Mermaid's Embrace is from within the area. So just be careful if you come across the captain. He is not very fond of people who look rich, if you catch my drift.
Look, none of us really look rich.
You kind of do, Zelly. I'm not gonna lie.
I looked down at my clothes. Yeah. Yeah, the bard outfit. Yeah, the bard outfit, the pendant. Yeah, you got a point there. I just took my
Hey,
pendants
Lay,
and
are there
Okay.
any clothing shops around?
Oh, there's a few scattered around, yes.
Which one's the closest?
That would be known as what bloody hell was my notes gone? You know what? I'm gonna make one up right now. I'm gonna make one up right now. I don't think I have it here. I'm gonna make one up right now. Known as the non-failure tailor.
non
I got.
non-failure.
Are you joking?
I'm making it up. I'm making it up. I didn't think of a name.
The silver shears.
Silver Shears. There you go. We'll go with that. Silver Shears. Thank you,
Silver
Carl.
shears.
No problem.
Thank you. I know what I'm going to have to work with for next time.
I guess I could use some new clothes.
Ooh, not new, Zelion. Ursula starts grinning mischievously.
Oh no.
Eep.
You're coming with me. Arla, permission to leave. We've got some clothing shopping to do.
Well, I'll let you all go on your way. In which case, I'll come find you guys a little later if anything comes up. Just stay in the town for the moment, and hopefully when Stonebreaker gets back, we can organize your reason for being here.
Sounds good. Come on, Zelion. Let's go to the Silver Shears. And I just drag him out of the doors.
Open the doors for him.
Well, okay. I'm coming. Wait,
Before-
what? What are you planning, Ursula?
Oh.
For
It's time for a disguise, Your Majesty.
Oh,
Trip turns to Arlie real quick. You can keep the rope with you if you need more research.
I think we'll probably do that. I need to look into this a bit more for my own personal sakes, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Very well. I wish all the rest of you a good fortune and enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll try catch up a bit later, okay? Oh, and Liam,
Yes.
I seen that you are curious by our wares. Are you interested in them?
I enjoy tinkering, inventing. I would love to see more of what's possible.
Are you curious? Are you wanting to see what we can do with this?
Of course.
Well, I can tell that. Well, I can tell that my big friend of mine is happy to take an interest. Maybe if you see him around, maybe he can show you to a special place that we are using. Say Arla sent you and say that you're willing to have a tour. He might be able to lead you the way, but I'd say it mostly will be a look, don't touch thing, but maybe you can charm the old hag.
What location again?
So basically it's she said that you're looking for essentially Valak.
Yeah.
If you can find Valak, Valak will show you maybe where to go.
Okay. Noted.
I was about to say,
I don't-
I was about to ask, you don't mean Valak, do you?
Yeah, I do mean Valak. All right. Anything?
Mustache
Any-
go whoop.
I do see that mustache there. Mustache. Wow, it feels like the Team 4-star thing. How about you, player? How come your a pure player's hair does not change from the day he is born, with the exceptions of beards and mustache? Now I can't stop thinking about Cutler with a mustache. Mustache.
Okay. I always had a mustache, as far as you know.
I know that's the joke.
Okay.
Okay, better one. Now I can't stop thinking about Aeon with a mustache.
Anyhow.
Mustache?
Thank you. All right. So, with that said, you are all led out of the doors, some being pulled by their colleague and some being hauled up as they are currently gasping for their breath still a bit.
And
And
some,
as you make your way
I'm taking the card with us.
fair, taking the cut there. As you all make your way out of the doors, Ale wishes you the best, and they slam shut behind you. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Darn it.
Oh boy, what a lore dump today.
Love it.
Mhm.
No, I love it. And also I know Heidi's looking forward to every minute of what's about to happen.
Oh, you just wait until I have a design ready for the next couple weeks.
What was
What the
that?
Fuck was that?
That was Nick.
Ah.
I have no idea what that was, but
Dell's looking very curious, but I don't know if that's worry or whether that is something else.
I don't know whether whether or not to be worried. That's the problem.
Chris, can you send me Zillion's avatar so that I have a reference for colors?
Fair enough. Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right. We'll do that afterwards. But with that said, everyone, how did everybody like that one?
Yee.
It was good.
Hold on
Yee.
a sec.
And obviously we end up with some lord dump bits for the city and a little bit towards Zelion and Tapahay. And also Liam having some nice curiosity moments.
And Trip
All right.
causing issues. But hey,
Yeah,
honesty.
yeah, nothing wrong with that. Oh, it's an Aeon. Oh.
How do I feel? Boosh.
All right, but with that said, if you were charged with joy with this stream and you enjoyed every moment of it, be sure to hit subscribe or follow, and we'll see you all for the next one. So just remember, everyone, I think your perception's rolled low. It's time for us to go. So
Oh,
until
no.
then, everyone, it's goodbye from your Dungeon Master, Brownie of the Joy Charge Gamers. It's goodbye from Kotlo.
Bye, y'all.
It's goodbye from Heidi,
Hey, bye.
from Raven,
Bye.
from Aeon.
I have a backstory.
Goodbye from Dell.
Hi and goodbye, everybody. Oh, also I redeemed a happy dance.
God damn it.
Kotlo, together.
Oh.
1, 2, 3.
Yay!
Double happy.
That's it's the first time we've ever done that.
Yay!
And with that said, remember, my friends, you better roll high. Otherwise, it could be goodbye.
Ah,
Catch you all later, everybody. Yes!
we got someone sent 1,000 doggos our way.
1,000 doggos? Who sent 1,000 doggos?
Moonraven with the bees.
Seriously, Raven?
Who let the dogs out? Who? Who?
Why? I worked hard for that spot on the HP meter.
Yeah.
And now Tis.
Damn it.
Goodbye, everybody. I'll see you next week for Pokemon.
Bye.
Catch you later.
I.
Bye.